Welcome back to As the Rabbit Descends Down the Hole. In this episode, we're going to discuss about Abram, and he meets a very special lady. Let's see where this heads, shall we? At the marketplace, not to get too deep into it, but Abram, sorry, force of habit, I guess. Abram, he wakes up in the morning, as he usually does, and, he goes, gets the water, and they make their way to the market, and all these things, and, Lot is usually with them. I mean, they're like frickin' frack, they're always together, they're best buds, and, he looks over at, Lot, and he says, I wonder if that guy's going to come again. If you remember in the last episode, there was a priest that came by, and Abram's wondering if we should go talk to this, should we go talk to that guy? Is that a thing? Can we do that? No. Let's just stick to our work. Let's just stick to what we have to do, I know you're questioning these things, but let's just keep our eyes on what we need to do for now. And so, it's like, he so wants to know the answers to these things, but he knows, his father, they have a business, they need to make their living and so on and so forth, and, continue about their day. And, who is that over there? Sarai. She moves to the market, carrying this basket of barley. She walks very confidently, very assured of herself. She's young, She has like this graceful beauty about her, not overpowering, kind of like the girl next door type of thing, She's on his radar though. And it's like, and wants to go talk to her. He's like, I don't know if I've seen this girl before. Oh yeah, you've seen her, she comes here, Well, something about her today. I'm noticing her today. Nervously, kind of walks over, and he's like, what should I say, and he like hesitates, and Lot bumps into him, and hey, come on, but it gets her attention, she just looks at him like, what is all this? What, she's trying to negotiate with like this vendor guy over some cost of some of the beans of barley and things, and Abram just kind of smiles over there. We can do better than that. I can get you a better price than that. Oh, okay. So this starts the conversation, and then they start having conversations. Finds out, she's not wealthy, she's just kind of like him at this point in his life, tending the family business, just kind of going about her way, she's not of this priestly Egyptian stuff or anything. But during the course of this conversation, and he mentions to her, I think there's something else out there, and her eyes kind of get big. She's like, I think there is too. I just have this feeling there's something else. So, there's an attraction there. There's the development. There's a shared value system there now. And the nervousness is going away. As they begin to talk to each other and things of this nature, and they go back. And, they're not really like, can I get your email or, your phone number, your text, whatever, there's nothing like that going on. But, I come to the market, you'll see me again, this now, Abram's looking for her now, he's going to actually be pursuing her now, and he goes home and, he's kind of got this grin about him, and Taraz follows him. What are you up to? He tries to hold it excitement. He just can't. I just met the most wonderful woman in the world. Her name's Sarai, and wow, she just blew my mind. You know. Well, is she like one of the traders there? Is she a vendor there? Who is she? No, she's this woman. You know, we just hit it off. You know, we had this wonderful conversation. Well, did you take care of your business? Did you do your work? Yes, I did the work. You know, this was more than just a meeting, though. This was a moment. This was a moment in time. This was something that they are going to remember for the rest of their lives because this is what begins their journey together. Time goes on, time goes on. They continue to meet. Coincidentally, they just happen to be here. And, you know, I think the universe is talking to us, and all that, all that stuff. He goes to give her. He shows her. Abram shows her what they sell and things like that. Do you believe in this moon god? The conversation comes up again. I really don't. I'm finding it hard to believe. Well, are you one that just stares at the moon, Abram? What are you? And he's kind of like cracking jokes with him. Like, well, I stare at the moon because I'm curious about it, not because I think it's my god. Oh, so and then Abram goes about his day and things like this. And, he goes on and thinks about her, looks at the moon, thinks about her. Has dinner, thinks about her. Well, he's his mind becomes pretty made up. This woman's part of my destiny. So the meeting, the moment, history's being made and they don't even know it yet. Wonder where this is going to lead to. I have an idea though. Things are about to get very interesting here, This relationship's developing, marriage is talking, families are bonding. But something's about to happen that's going to change everybody's lives. Find out in the next episode. See you then.